So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a key principle in regards to getting your prayers answered. And I've covered this as well in another video as well, so I'll make sure I link there below in the description box for you to watch that as well. But in today's video, I'm going to take a couple of verses from the book of Luke and show you a prime example. And if you can get this, I'm pretty certain that more and more of your prayers will start to come to fruition and you'll start to have more faith in God and actually pray more and more and more. So let me show you what I mean. A lot of people know about one of the famous people from the Bible, John the Baptist. What we're going to focus on in today's video, we're going to focus on his two parents. We're basically going to take two pieces of text which basically highlight the point I'm trying to make. You see, most people when it comes to prayer, they say this prayer and then the prayer doesn't happen in 30 seconds or a minute or by the next day. And based on that, what they decide to do is to say, okay, you know what, God isn't answering my prayers. But just to give you some context of what we're talking about in regards to John the Baptist's parents, and they had no child because that Elizabeth was barren and they both were well stricken in years. So there's a couple of things we can pinpoint here, but this is basically talking about John the Baptist's mother, okay, and father, Elizabeth and Zecharias. And the fact of the matter is they were both from the house of Levi. They had both basically gone up in age, and by this point, they had gone past the point of being able to have children naturally, so to speak. Now, the reason I highlighted this verse first is because I want to give you the context. They're a married couple, they're old, and up until this point, his wife was barren. But one thing I want to notice a couple lines down, this is what it says. But the angel said unto him, unto Zecharias that is, Fear not, Zecharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. A lot of people have heard about John the Baptist, but not as many people have heard about his parents, Elizabeth and Zecharias. But what did the angel say to Zecharias when the angel came to meet him? It was the angel Gabriel, and the angel Gabriel said to him, Don't be afraid, Zecharias. What did he say? Your prayer has been heard. And that means if it wasn't continual, okay, at some point, okay, as they're going up in age, Zecharias was making prayers saying, God, please can you bless my wife Elizabeth so she's not barren and we can have a child. But we read previously earlier on to start Luke's gospel that they were well stricken in age. So it's either that Zecharias had been continually praying, okay, up until the point where he's old, his wife's old and they're well stricken in age and they can't even have children anymore. And he's continuing to pray. Or he prayed previously and up until this point he's continued to have faith that God will answer that prayer. The point is this, okay? When it comes to your prayer life, I want you to take the mindset that Zecharias kind of portrayed here. Because even up until the point where he was old, he still had faith that God would make this a reality. Why did he have this faith? Well, we don't 100% know, but the scripture does say that they were obedient to the commandments of the Lord and righteous in the sight of the Lord and blameless, okay, up until this point. Now, the fact of the matter is this. When you make your prayers to God, are you making these prayers with the belief and the faith and the hope that, you know what, God, if this takes years and years and years for the prayer to materialize, I'm still going to have faith? I mentioned it at the top of the video. We talked about this in another video about my secret strategy to prayer. Again, I'll make sure it's linked in the description box below so you can watch it because it gives you great context to watch after a video like this. But the fact of the matter is, prayer is not something that you just basically say your prayer out to God and expect something to happen in the next 20 seconds. We've fallen into this habit and this trick today where we kind of liken God to like a roulette machine, like a cash register. We basically just pull or we press the buttons and we expect something to come out very quickly. And that's not actually the case. When it comes to prayer, prayer is a communication. Prayer is a relationship. You continue to pray to God. And like situations like this with Zecharias and Elizabeth, their faith gave them the opportunity to basically bring John the Baptist into the world, okay? The forerunner for Christ, the person who made the way and prepared the way for the Messiah. It was these two Levites, basically, that had faith in God and were continually being obedient to God's commandments. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know where you are in your life right now, but this is a great strategy for you to take hold of. Don't just say prayers and say, you know what, God, you know what, if this prayer doesn't happen by tomorrow, or this prayer doesn't happen by next week, then I'm going to basically forget about it. No, keep praying. Keep consistently putting those prayers up to God. And God is able and willing to answer those prayers if they're biblical. And that's something we can potentially talk about in another video about biblical prayers, etc. But this is just a video for you to watch today, taken from the New Testament writings as a prime example of how to get your prayers answered by God and having long-standing faith. Not faith that wavers in 20 seconds, but faith that can go the distance, potentially years and even decades. And this also reminds me of something really popular from the Old Testament. We're dealing with Abraham and him waiting for God's promise of Abraham. It's a very similar kind of story. And one of the big issues people have with that story is, how could God ask Abraham to sacrifice his son on the altar? We covered that in this video. Thanks and take care.